Minecraft has progressed a lot throughout the years, starting as a small project from Marcus Persson, also known as Notch, to what is now one of the most popular games and is even owned by the giant Microsoft. In Minecraft Journeys of the Versions, I'm going to take you on an adventure throughout almost every version of the game, starting from the simple alpha days to what is now. I'll also be showing you pre-classic, classic, and in-depth versions of the game. But unlike the main series, which goes up one version every 3 episodes, about 1 hour, these 3 stages will only be 1 episode each because of the lack of features to last that long. So let's begin at the start. Pre-classic. Pre-classic was one of the very first stages of the game, and it wasn't even a whole lot. To me, it even looks like a cheap knockoff of the current game. But, alas, it isn't. So, it began as a small project in 2010 on TigSource, a forum site for indie game developers, which I credit Ant Venom, otherwise I would have never known this. You can go check out his channel, he's pretty cool. He shared his project and people liked it, and it went on from there. There were only a few versions of the game, approximately 5 of pre-classic. But maybe a couple more, but we're not too sure. Although, let's go ahead and roll right into it instead of keep on talking. I'll see you there. Before we begin, I might as well tell you how do I, get those versions of the game. Well, what you do is that you go to Launch Options on your Minecraft launcher, and you click Add New, and then you can choose your version of the game. So, if I want to do Beta 1.8, I can do that. I can name it Beta 1.8. I can't type. You can choose a little icon if you want. Let's do like an active furnace. And then, yeah, that's about it. Now I have Beta 1.8 in my launcher, and I can go and play it. Simple. Welcome to the very first version of Minecraft. This is it. Could build by left clicking, not right click. Make sure you get that right. And then you can right click to destroy. It was a very simplistic thing because there wasn't really a lot. You could build a house. You could probably build something really nice with all the space that you could build on, if you tried. But it'd still look very plain because there wasn't a lot that you can really choose from. So this was the first version that was released on TigSource by Notch, as people like to call him. And players liked it. And, I mean, you should, if you like the game, you're probably glad that people did like it and that he kept on working on it rather than abandoning it for such as a game he was working on, which these textures are used from it, called Ruby Dung, which, I mean, it looked a bit interesting, but it was like a 2D game. Didn't have this cool 3D look. And look at that, we got a house. Look at that. We can't really place a cobblestone floor because if you destroy the grass and then you go to place, it'll place the grass back. You gotta either be in between the grass, on either above it or under it. So, you could fall off the map. If we just dig around back, dig a little hole, digging, and bam, we would fall infinitely. Epilepsy warning if that's what causes epilepsy. I know flashing stuff does, and that's kind of like, ugh. Now you'd think, oh no, you're stuck here forever unless you restart the game. If you click R, you'll respawn. And that's all the features that they had. Anyways, let's move on to the next version. Welcome to the second version of the game. Alright, I ended up messing up the house. Excuse that, but what is this? These are Steve's. Yes, this isn't a mod, this is actual game. Yeah, I broke the house, messed up the recording, and I had to go back in time. So, ignore that. But there's also shadows, you see that? The house is actually, feels whiter. That's weird. The house is whiter. I swear I didn't change the width when I messed up the recordings. but I messed up the materials because yeah, that's what's coming next. Spoiler alert. So yeah, got a bigger house magically. Ignore that. It was just me messing around with the versions. But we got these Steve guys. That's it. In shadows. Yeah. And I don't remember if blocks glowed like that. They probably did. So, yeah. Let's move on, yeah? Because there's nothing else besides funny Steves. But you could try to trap one, but I don't think it's gonna work well. You just kinda, yeah, face through you. Alright, let's go. Whoa. The game's probably running in a better resolution for you. Which I found funny when I was messing out the versions because for some reason it runs in a better resolution than the latest version. But all the grass has turned to this. And there's a house. I don't think we had a cursor before. We may have, but I didn't see it because I'm blind. We got stone, cobblestone. I think the texture is slightly different. Oh, this is about messing up the house. Ignore this. Eh, eh, eh. Yeah. Oops. This is why you do not mess around too much because the save transfers between the versions automatically. I could go back and delete it, but nah. But yeah, I think the house is bigger because there's something to do with that. So there you go. Education. Stuff changes. So we got materials now. If you look at the left, we got stone, dirt, cobblestone, wood. So now we can decorate a house and make it look all out beautiful. I want my cobble back. Gives it a nice, like, old cottage look. Someone's probably going to correct me down. They're like, no, it looks like an old craftsman house. And I'd be like, you understand the point. And then they're like, wow, you just predicted me the next 10 seconds. You just predicted my actions in the next 10 seconds. And then I'm done doing this random commentary. So, yeah, there was some new stuff. Pretty cool progress. You can have more creative builds like flooring. Still no doors, sadly. And there you go. Now we upgraded the mansion as we've gone through the versions. Let's head on to the next version so we can get an even better mansion. Hopefully. Oh yeah, we could also have a little yard too. There we go. A little yard out in the stone lands. How's that look? Pretty bad, I know. Alright, let's move on. The fourth version of the game. Let me just... Okay. For some reason, you can't expand the window anymore. At least on my side. But, there's a new block. A single new block. Oh, yeah, you can also do that. Click G to spawn Steves. I'm not sure if it was in the third version. I think it was. So, yeah. Nothing new except for a sapling, really. Which, it looks kind of cool. It's like a non-block, like it's got a block hitbox. Because the hitbox is like where you can like break and stuff. But, like, the texture of it isn't block anymore. Which is probably why this is a whole entire new version. Because it's now a sprite. There we go. We've upgraded the mansion a bit with some trees. And they can actually float. Weirdly enough. So you can make me like a plant chandelier. There we go. Oh, and the texture's changed. How cool does that look now? The cottage has an upgrade in texturing. And that's it. Let's move on to the final version. Welcome to the fifth and final version of the game. For whatever reason... Oh, there's a Steve. Let's see if I can spawn. There you go. For whatever reason, I still can't render this in full screen. And what was new is really questionable. Because there wasn't really anything besides more Steves, which... Let's trap him in the house. Yep, come in, come in. Fine. Nope, dang it. They're trying to find a way to get out. And there you go. We got a Steve in our house now. So yeah, I mean, I can click random keys, but nothing new happens. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know if you know what it is. You can comment down below. I'll like your comment or something, because that's cool, right? So yeah, let's head on to the outro of this video, and I hope you continue on with my journey as we head into the classic phase. Menacing, I know. So, pre-classic ends here. It was small, simple, but it led to the great game known as Minecraft. Join me next episode, and we shall begin on Classic. Much more progress, considered features were created at this time, including multiplayer servers, terrain generation, and much, much more. See you then.